Hey everyone, welcome to Jack's Corner, and boy, there is no really jokes today. Today's gonna be a personal one, I gotta admit. If that doesn't interest you, I completely understand, but I want to get things straight off the bat. I'm not looking for anything when I'm posting these videos except really just a community. People to talk to, people to chat with, things like that. I hope the things I go over in this video resonate with you and maybe help you the way it did for me. Today we're going to be discussing the character of Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. I know what you're thinking. Why did I start things off so kind of serious when we're talking about anime or manga? And that's pretty simple to me. When I watch or read things, I do hope to get something positive out of it when I'm done with it. Obviously, some animes are just for fun, full of anime titties galore, and we kind of just take it all in and it's fun. But some, you've got to admit, can be life-changing for some of us. For me, that is the character Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. It's gonna be kind of hard to explain how an animated character has helped me for the better without any of you even knowing me, but I'm going to try my best. To explain this the best way that I can, I'm going to be switching from Vinland Saga and my personal life frequently throughout the video, so I do hope you enjoy. Vinland Saga starts off as a pretty simple story. You have a young Norse Viking child trying to avenge the wrongful death of his father, but after the prologue, we then get into what Makoto Yukimura was attempting to tackle from the beginning of the story, which he is the mangaka of the story. He's the one who made it. He explores century-old questions through painting different scenarios or different religions and such. Like, do you need a sword to be a warrior? Can there be peace without violence? Can swearing off violence even get you where you need to be? Is only being kind to other people and helping others actually going to push you forward in life in the long run? Now, does he answer these questions? No, not at all. And I think that's a good thing because he can't. And I don't think that that's even the point. In life, we all go through completely different things, so the same things do not apply with everyone. Without getting too much into spoilers, the point in the anime where Thorfinn reaches the kettle farm and lives life as a slave is where things change, not only for him, but also for me personally. As you can tell by my voice, yes, I'm a man, and we've all heard the phrase, sometimes you gotta fight to be a man. But do you really? Growing up, I'm not gonna lie, I was taught to defend myself with fists no matter what. If someone in school or in the outside world teased me or hurt me, I was raised to immediately defend myself. At the time, did I think of what I was doing and if it would actually help me? No. I did not. I was young and I was just doing kind of what I was told and the way I was raised. Kind of like in Vinland Saga with the Vikings. They were raised to be warriors, to fight. The only way, basically what they all look up to, or at least aspire to go to, is Valhalla, which you're not getting there, according to the Vikings, unless you die in battle, defending and fighting for yourself. That's just the way they were raised. Now, I love my family with all my heart. I really do. I have no issues with them, nor have I ever. I am the man that I am today because of them, and I'm super thankful for that. But fun little story. I'll never forget, after a fight that I had at school, when I got home, I was told, son, it's a good thing you won, because if you got your ass whooped, you were going to get another ass whooping when you got home. I know that sounds really hardcore and everything, but it's just the way that it was, and I was fine with it. I never even thought about it. It's just the way it was. Now, on to Thorfinn. I'm going to switch over to Vinland Saga now. As we push throughout the kettle farm arc, Thorfinn begins to change with his buddy Einar, and he starts to have these really odd dreams. One day after he got in a scuffle, Thorfinn was left unconscious on the ground, and he wakes up in what seems like his Vinland. If you watch the show, you know the place that I'm talking about. It's a beautiful scene till his father looks at Thorfinn's hands and asks him, how many people have you hurt and killed with those hands and the weapons in your hands? Thorfinn is thrown back by this question and immediately begins to fall into what we can only imagine as like hell. There he sees a battlefield where, it's horrific. There's monsters just fighting each other, which we come to find out is all the people that Thorfinn killed in battle. He was always told by his dad that in life you do not need violence and none of us have enemies. Thorfinn is then told by the man he swore to kill, Askeladd, who killed his dad, that he must carry these dead men that he sees fighting below him and fight the true fight, which you don't really know what that is, because we don't know the answer to these questions of what are we supposed to be fighting for? Do we even need to fight? What is the point of doing this? But that's what Askeladd tells him. He says, you need to carry them and you need to fight the true fight. The one to become a true warrior. Which, again, what does that even mean? What is the definition of that? And that's what I feel like, whether you're a man or a female, what does it mean to truly, do what we are supposed to do? What is the point in everything? In the Viking days, there's no such thing as a warrior that does not fight or kill, which makes the scene, kind of heart-wrenching, because you see the women, men, and children that Thorfinn killed reach for his legs, and then since he's being told by Askeladd that he needs to carry them, he begins to climb up this mountain. So he needs to climb back above ground, and he's not scared of what's below him, but he climbs knowing that he must carry all the people that he has killed throughout his life, and himself on top of all that, above ground, and fight the real fight. Back to kind of like the personal stuff here, and where I kind of think that, this means a lot in our lives as well, is how many times in life have you felt like you've done wrong, and because you've done wrong, you deserve to be miserable and just stay in this state of like self-hate? What if we all carried our burdens like Thorfinn is doing, as he's carrying all the people, above with him, and we kind of use it as like a propeller to help us, not just for ourselves, but like for other people too. There's a lot of times when Thorfinn states in the manga, even to King Canute, that in helping others, it will help yourselves in the long run, no matter how troublesome it may feel. Helping others also helps yourself. Since my younger days of constantly fighting every time someone messes with me, I've obviously grown up, and I've realized that is not the way I should have handled things. I do know that we all need to stand up for ourselves, but like Thorfinn said, violence is and always will be the last resort. We need to go more on first resort. What is the best option, instead of sometimes the easiest option? I don't live like that anymore, and in living through just being kind, I have noticed a change, and a good change at that. I don't carry hate with me anymore, or anger, and I stand up for what's right when I can, and I love it. I'm not perfect, and it is hard to keep that going all the time, and I won't pretend that there aren't people who I don't like, or people that I wish I just didn't have to see anymore. But there's a quote that Thorfinn says a couple times that I need to remember, and that is that we have no enemies. That's what his father told him, Thor's. We have no enemies. That's a pretty big statement, and it sounds super simple, but it's one that we really should abide by. Everybody wants peace, but what do we do about it? I'm not saying we all need to do these huge crazy things, but what if something simple, like going to school tomorrow and just being nice to everybody, or kind, like even the bullies, or going to work tomorrow and being kind to everyone, even to the boss that's a huge dick. We have to be the change that we want to see, and I feel like that's something that Thorfinn realized in Vinland Saga. Thorfinn asks King Canute to leave the farm in the most peaceful, calm way that you can think of. After being told no by the king for no good reason but selfish ones, Canute then says, so what are you going to do about it? I'm telling you no, now what? You're here, surrounded by me and my men, and now that I'm telling you no, what are you going to do? Even though Canute knows that if Thorfinn wanted to, he can kill him right then and there in an instant, and he wouldn't even have time to think about it. And then that's when I feel that the big change happened. Thorfinn looks at the king dead in the eye and says, if you intend to see this madness through force, then I'll run. At face value, that sounds like super cowardly and dumb, but is it? Thorfinn chooses to sail off on his own journey and build a land far from his reach, the king's reach that is, and he'll build a land with just peace and joy and lead the world by example, which is honestly the most that one man can do. And that is when I began to respect the hell out of not only Vinland Saga, but Thorfinn and just the creator and everything about this. Usually you're not going to have a lot of support behind a manga that their main character is not just a violent, riddled man that is just super gory and bloody and just fucks everybody up. That is not the case. This guy has sworn off violence, and yet he has now not only became someone that I look up to, but he's my favorite main character I think I've ever encountered in any anime or manga that I've ever watched or read. And that's the impact that I feel like Thorfinn has on me. Now guys, I know this video is probably stupid to most of you or cheesy, but it's one I felt I needed to make for me personally. I do these videos not only for fun, but if it helps people, that's a really big deal for me. We all have escapes in life. I know I do, and I think most people do as well. So I hope that this was a tiny positive escape for you. I aim to build a community on here where we can all discuss things we love and, you know, recent things that we've discovered through animes and mangas. If you've made it here, I think it'd be fun if you left down in the comments like a show or a character that you felt has impacted you like this, like how I'm explaining Thorfinn and Vinland Saga. I really would like to know. But other than that, that really is everything I got. I hope you all have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time.